What's a joke that's so stupid it's funny? To be frank, I'd have to change my name. How do you think the unthinkable? With an iceberg? I bought the world's worst thesaurus today. Not only was it terrible, but it was also terrible. I stole this from online, but I used it at work and got a bunch of laughs while using the stepladder. Someone said, "What do you need that ladder for?" I replied, "I never knew my real ladder. This is just my stepladder." But he raised me nevertheless. Steak jokes are a rare medium well done. A psychic dwarf was committed for murder. After a few days in prison, he broke out. He was a small medium at large. What did the grape say when the elephant sat on it? Nothing, but it let out a little whine. I used to be good at telling jokes, but now I just punch up the fuck line. Courtesy of my daughter. What do you call a broken can opener? A can't opener. Why'd the old man fall down the well? Because he couldn't see that well. A blonde and a lawyer are seated next to each other on a flight from Los Angeles to New York. The lawyer asks if she would like to play a fun game. The blonde, tired, just wants to take a nap, so she politely declines and rolls over to the window to catch a few winks. The lawyer persists and explains that the game is easy and a lot of fun. He says, "I ask you a question, and if you don't know the answer, you pay me $5, and vice versa." Again, she declines and tries to get some sleep. The lawyer, now agitated, says, "Okay, if you don't know the answer, you pay me $5, and if I don't know the answer, I will pay you $500. This catches the blonde's attention and, figuring there will be no end to this torment, agrees to the game. The lawyer asks the first question. What's the distance from the earth to the moon? The blonde doesn't say a word, reaches into her purse, pulls out a $5 bill, and hands it to the lawyer. "Okay," says the lawyer, "your turn." She asks, "What goes up a hill with 3 legs and comes down with 4 legs?" The lawyer, puzzled, takes out his laptop computer and searches all his references. No answer. He taps into the airphone with his modem and searches the internet and the Library of Congress. No answer. Frustrated, he sends emails to all his friends and coworkers, but to no avail. After an hour, he wakes the blonde and hands her $500. The blonde thanks him and turns back to get some more sleep. The lawyer, who is more than a little miffed, stirs the blonde and asks, "Well, what's the answer?" Without a word, the blonde reaches into her purse, hands the lawyer $5, and goes back to sleep. The opposite of a dumb blonde joke. Why did Edward Woodward have so many D's in his name? Why? Because without them, he'd have been called a wooer. You can't run through a campsite, you can only ran, because it's past tense. I saw a nice stereo on Craigslist for $1. Seller says the volume is stuck on high. I couldn't turn it down. What do you get when you cross a joke with a rhetorical question? Stared at. I have many jokes about unemployed people. Sadly none of them work. Then maybe you should employ a new strategy. A husband and wife were driving through Louisiana. As they approached Natchitoches, they started arguing about the pronunciation of the town. They argued back and forth. Then they stopped for lunch. At the counter, the husband asked the blonde waitress, "Before we order, could you please settle an argument for us? Would you please pronounce where we are very slowly?" She leaned over the counter and said, "Burgerkying." As someone who lives in Natchitoches, literally everything about this isn't a joke, right down to the back right next to the interstate. A man walked into a zoo. There was one dog. It was a Shih Tzu. What did one nut say when it was chasing the other nut? "I'm a cashew." What do you get when you combine a dyslexic, an insomniac, and an agnostic? Someone who lies awake at night wondering if there's a dog. If Russians pronounce V's as V's, then Soviet. What was E.T. short for? Because he had little legs. Did I have to Google this? Yes. Did I only get it after 10 more minutes? Yes. Am I retarded? Well, don't leave us hanging. You wouldn't be hanging if you had longer legs. What do you call an alligator in a vest? An investigator. What do you call a magic dog? A labracadabra. And for my next trick, I will sit. Audience loses their mind. Q. What's a pirate's favorite letter? Wait for them to say R. A. Yeah. Jeet thinks so. But me first love be the C. What's a pirate's least favorite letter? Dear sir, your internet access has been terminated due to illegal usage. Sincerely, your service provider. They say smoking kills, but it cures salmon. What do we want? Airplane noises. When do we want them? Meow. My sister just learned this one a couple weeks ago, and she tells it every chance she gets. What did the janitor say when he jumped out of the closet? Supplies. 2 whales are drunk at a bar. One whale says, make long whale cooing noises until everyone around you is pretty uncomfortable. Like I'm not shitting you. At least 1 to 2 full minutes of weird off-pitch whale noises. The other whale says, do a deep inhale, like you're about to make more weird whale noises, and so that everyone around you almost gets pissed, and unfriends you on Facebook. Go home. Frank, you're drunk. Just did this to my husband. He tells me I'm grounded. This is what marriage is all about. 2 cows are standing in a field. The first cow says to the second, have you heard about this mad cow disease? It makes cows go crazy, and then they die. The second cow replies, good thing I backquote him a helicopter. My friend Brian used to tell this joke. If that's you, Brian, I'm still taking credit for your joke. A priest, a pastor, and a rabbi walk into a bar. The bartender says, what is this? Some kind of joke?